Dads, what was your "don't tell mom about this" moment? My son Owen was just 13 when he got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. The doctor said his pancreas had completely stopped producing insulin, and he'd need injections for the rest of his life. My wife took it hard. She'd cry herself to sleep every night, blaming herself for not noticing the symptoms sooner. I promised her I'd handle Owen's nighttime insulin checks so she could get some rest. But one Friday night, I fell asleep on the couch after a long shift at work. When I woke up at 3 a.m., I realized I'd missed his midnight check. I rushed to his room in a panic. Owen was drenched in sweat, barely conscious. His blood sugar had dropped dangerously low. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely open the emergency glucagon kit. After the injection, I sat there holding him, watching the color slowly return to his face. "Don't tell Mom," he whispered. "She'll just worry more." I nodded, feeling like the worst father alive. The next morning, I called in sick to work and spent hours researching everything about diabetes. I learned about continuous glucose monitors that could alert us if his blood sugar dropped, but our insurance wouldn't cover it, and the out-of-pocket cost was $5,000. That's when I started picking up extra shifts at the warehouse. Every weekend, every holiday. I told my wife it was for Owen's college fund. For 6 months straight, I worked 80-hour weeks until my hands were covered in calluses and I could barely keep my eyes open. Owen caught me sleeping in my truck one morning before my shift. He climbed in and showed me his logbook where he'd been tracking his own blood sugar. "Dad, you don't have to work so hard. I'm getting better at managing it." But 2 weeks later, Owen had another severe low while sleeping. This time, my wife found him. She was hysterical, asking why the nighttime checks hadn't caught it. I broke down and confessed everything. The missed check, the near disaster, all the extra shifts trying to make up for my failure. Instead of being angry, she hugged me and said we'd figure it out together. The next day, she sold her grandmother's antique ring to help pay for the glucose monitor. We both cried when we installed it and watched Owen's blood sugar readings appear on our phones. Things got better after that. The alerts helped us catch the lows before they became dangerous. Owen even joined the school track team, showing everyone that diabetes couldn't hold him back. Then last month, I got a promotion at work. The first thing I did was buy my wife a replacement ring, even prettier than her grandmother's. But when I gave it to her, she started crying. "I don't want it," she said. "Use the money to help other kids instead." That weekend, we started a support group for families dealing with type 1 diabetes. At our first meeting, a single mom broke down because she couldn't afford test strips. Owen walked over and handed her his spare glucose monitor, the one we'd bought as a backup. "Don't tell Dad," he whispered to her with a wink, "but I think you need this more than I do." I pretended not to hear him, just like he pretended not to notice when I slipped the mom enough cash for a year's worth of supplies. Last week, Owen had his first wrestling match. His opponent was bigger, stronger, but halfway through, Owen's glucose monitor buzzed. Without missing a beat, he called a timeout, drank some juice, and got back on the mat.